When Walt Disney World finally reopened following the historic shutdown of 2020, the park was operated quite differently from what guests were used to. For the most part, the changes were to manage crowds and keep everyone safe and healthy, but some of these temporary measures took longer than others to revert. One of the long missing and heavily desired offerings was the Disney Dining Plan, a prepaid dining vacation package which made its triumphant return, albeit slightly altered this year. There has been debate forever as to whether or not the Disney Dining Plan is worth the money, or if it's better to just buy your meals individually like you would outside a Disney vacation. So today, I'm going to give my thoughts as to why I think the Disney Dining Plan is great. Before we begin, you can support the channel by hitting the subscribe button. We are on the road to 500 subscribers and would love for you to join our community. So my family used the dining plan many times before. We started out using the standard plan, which consisted of one snack, one quick service meal, and one sit-down meal per day. It was a great plan, giving you just enough food without being too full. We typically used the snack credit to get breakfast, since it worked for things like muffins and that amazing carrot cake whoopie pie in Hollywood studios. Later on, we started using the deluxe dining plan, which consisted of 2 snacks and 3 daily sit-down meals. Oh, and for those sit-down meals, the deluxe plan included an appetizer, entree, and dessert for each person at the table. It was a lot of food. Granted, we got to try some amazing restaurants around the parks, but it often felt like we were still digesting breakfast by the time we crawled to dinner. Not the best feeling when you're in the Florida heat riding roller coasters. With the return of the dining plan, the deluxe plan will not be coming back, meaning the only choices are the standard and quick service plan. The quick service plan consists of 2 quick service meals per day. When the standard plan returns, it will be seemingly identical to how it was back in the day. Nice. So when it comes to the question of value, is it worth the money? Many people smarter than myself have broken down the numbers and determined that for the eating habits of the average guest, the dining plan may not be the best deal. Essentially, the plan offers you more food than you would typically eat, so you may be getting a good deal on the food, but you'll be getting more food than you would ever need or want. For the deluxe plan, I completely agree. It was an insane amount of food that left me feeling full and honestly gross by the end of the trip, especially when riding roller coasters between massive meals. The standard plan, however, operates pretty much how I eat on a normal daily basis. Small breakfast, medium lunch, big dinner. I know the health analysts would say to start big and end small, but I just prefer big steaks and small eggs, you know? Let me just clarify that the credits can be used in any combination. So if you are a healthier person than me, you could always do a sit-down breakfast at, say, Garden Grill in Epcot, then grab a taco in the Mexico Pavilion, finish off with a curry chicken pocket in China for a snack-sized dinner. You can also use those credits at any time during the trip. Maybe you want to eat light on day 2, but feast on day 4. You could do 2 quick service meals one day, 2 sit-down meals another day. Some restaurants also cost multiple sit-down credits. Signature dining locations such as Cinderella's Royal Table, Be Our Guest, and Le Cellier in Epcot take up 2 credits each. If you want to dine at any of these locations, you must forego one of your allotted sit-downs. On average, it appears the standard plan will cost around $95 per adult per day. That may sound like a lot, almost $100 per person just to eat each day, but after my August trip without a dining plan, it honestly feels like a steal. Disney prices have gone up and continue to every year. It's not that hard to drop $100 per person when paying outright. But honestly, the biggest perk of the dining plan is peace of mind, not having to count your pennies while in vacation mode. On my August trip, we had to budget our meals, make sure we didn't choose anything too expensive on the menu, and cancel a few reservations at the end after realizing our set-aside money was starting to run out. Some of our most anticipated dinners, like Space 220 and Epcot, had to be canceled, because the prices were just too outrageous. The dining plan makes things a lot easier. We would know up front how much the entire trip would cost, from the hotel and tickets to dining. The only extra expenses we had to account for were tips and, of course, merchandise. Knowing the upfront cost was nice since we could save up for it before the trip and then enjoy our vacation without worrying about what our meals costed. Also, it was nice to order the $60 steak instead of settling for a cheaper burger on the menu. If your party consists of adults who enjoy drinking, the dining plan becomes an even better deal for you, as your included soft drink with your meals can be substituted for an alcoholic beverage, and if you've seen those prices for drinks at Disney. Oh, and I shouldn't forget to mention one perk that often goes under the radar for the dining plan. The resort refillable mug. This reusable mug not only acts as a neat souvenir to bring home with you, but it's also very useful when staying at a Disney resort. It may not sound like much, but this mug offers unlimited refills of various soft drinks and even coffee, tea, and hot chocolate at the Disney resorts. If you're a morning coffee kind of person, this will definitely save you a bit each day, and you'll get to forego the massive line at Joffrey's Coffee or even worse, Starbucks. For me, the mug was especially useful to get fresh water each night. Before going to the park, I would often fill it with water or iced tea to bring to the park with me. Once that was empty, I could reuse the mug for free water across the parks. The last thing I want to touch on is the snack credit each day, as this can be a hidden gem in the plan as well. As I mentioned before, I often use this to cover breakfast, since the standard plan does not include enough daily credits for 3 meals, just 2. In Epcot, however, some snacks can be just as satisfying as a quick service meal. If you want to take advantage of that, maybe use your quick service credit for breakfast, have a snack for lunch. Then you'll have extra energy in the morning and be ready for a nice big meal at dinner. So for those reasons, I believe the Disney dining plan is great. If it's within your means, the plan is a great way to lessen the stress of a Disney vacation. If it's outside your means, there are still plenty of ways to dine on a budget at some great locations. Snack around Epcot, prioritize quick service locations, or even pack those lunches and just eat out for breakfast or maybe dinner. But what do you think? Have you tried the Disney dining plan before? Will you use it on your next visit? Let me know in the comments. If you like this video, let us know by dropping a like and hitting that subscribe button. We also have Instagram, TikTok, a whole bunch of others. You can follow those for even more content. Thanks for watching, and remember, you can unlock the magic with the power of imagination.